Some skeptics are asking if I'm really a doctor. I am. I graduated from Loma Linda University School of Medicine in 1976. I did my anesthesiology residency and critical care medicine fellowship there as well. Then I spent 32 years in clinical medicine at Florida Hospital in Orlando, Florida, where I retired in 2013. For 10 of those years, I was also medical director at the NovaMed Surgery Center. Now, key question. Is my Parkinson's disease conclusion a firm diagnosis? No. You heard me right. I said no. That's because it's a conclusion, not a diagnosis. I'm being careful and being a scientist here. I'm not Hillary Clinton's treating physician, and I don't have access to her medical records. There may be facts that contradict my conclusion. I just haven't seen them. Therefore, it's possible that I might be proven wrong, and it won't hurt my feelings one teensy bit if that happens. The simplest way is for Hillary Clinton to release her medical records, all of them. If those records direct us to a different diagnosis that explains what we see, then I'm wrong. Let me repeat myself. The diagnosis must explain what we see. It can't be, who are you going to believe, me or your own eyes? Until that happens, there are several facts. And I said facts that cannot be overlooked. First, Hillary exhibits a series of signs that point to a neurological disorder. These include tremors, such as head bobbing, freezes where she completely locks up, postures such as bug eyes, and bizarre choreiform movements as seen in the head bobbing and balloon drop incidents. She also has a chronic periodic cough. Now, my premise is that this is a result of aspiration from a swallowing disorder related to her neurological disorder. And every one of these signs can be explained by Parkinson's disease. Freelance writer Ryan Gent of thenewcivilrightsmovement.com is typical of the hysterical wing of the left. He essentially declares that there is nothing to see here, or pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. The letter from Lisa Bardak stating that Hillary is in excellent physical condition is taken as gospel. But Dr. Bardak's letter and the later statement don't address the neurological disorder Hillary Clinton displays. Therefore, they are at best incomplete and at worst deliberate fraud. Let me make that a bit more clear. Hillary Clinton is suffering from a neurological disorder. Period. End of sentence. Gent declares that my medical research is from YouTube. He then equates me with the, quote, stupidest man on the internet, close quote. I guess my Mensa membership must have been a mistake. But I digress. YouTube has become the largest public record of prominent people in history. That public record documents the factual nature of the signs listed above. In order to say that nothing is going on, Gent has to deny reality. But he's in good company. Many news outlets that support Hillary Clinton are saying the same thing. Now, I used YouTube for the public record. It's worth noting that I rejected several items because they had too many alternative explanations. Two in particular are Hillary's trip entering an airplane and the object in her attendant's hand. Neither one shows useful details, and speculations about the attendant's identity just don't cut it. I also spent a considerable amount of time with respected Parkinson's disease online sources and the medical literature on Parkinson's disease. I conferred with Parkinson's disease caregivers and sufferers. By the way, those are the ones who originally tipped me to the probable diagnosis. To them, her signs were like giant letters on a theater marquee. There was no other possible answer. Now, Orac at scienceblogs.com says that I should not attempt to diagnose without examining the patient myself. He's a surgeon and is generally correct in his comment. But Parkinson's disease is a malady that has no diagnostic tests. There aren't any CTs, MRIs, or blood tests that can identify it. Even physical examination is of limited value. Virtually all of a Parkinson's disease diagnosis can be made by simple observation, and the public record allows us to make those observations. At this point, I'd like to make a key point. My conclusion is part of a differential diagnosis. This term refers to a long list of possible diagnoses for what is observed. That implies that there are other possibilities that may be considered, and my premise is an interim conclusion awaiting final verification. Now, I believe Parkinson's disease is firmly on the top of that list. I further believe that it is highly unlikely, but not impossible, that something further down the list might be the actual problem. But for one of the other possibilities to become the top possibility, it's necessary to show that the observed signs represent something other than Parkinson's disease. We should note that this process is exactly what Fox News' David Samadi, a urologist, does when he tackles a question outside of his specialty. The same goes for CNN's Sanjay Gupta, who in this case has special knowledge. He's a neurosurgeon and may have implanted deep brain stimulators for Parkinson's disease patients. On this point, Reno Berkeley at Inquisitor.com posed a very responsible question. How can the hand position I discuss be a Parkinson's disease sign when Hillary Clinton demonstrated it in 1975? She supplies a photo to illustrate her point, and this is where careful examination is critical. The photo in question does not in fact show the hand posture I pointed out. The middle finger is not riding above its neighbors, and the little finger is not tucked under the ring finger. But I must credit Miss Berkeley. She is actually engaging in scientific inquiry. The fact that it's a swing and a miss doesn't change the fact that her approach is proper. As I said before, it won't hurt my feelings if I'm proven wrong. There are two basic ways to do it. The first is Reno Berkeley's method, where she challenges one of the signs we see and offers a different explanation. The second and far easier method is for Hillary Clinton to release all of her medical records. The problem with this is political. If she truly has Parkinson's disease, then she lacks the ability to do the job. A public release of that information will be devastating to her campaign. And by the way, an upcoming post will deal with the mental side of Parkinson's. This country needs, regardless of your political persuasion, a president who is physically capable of doing the job. Anything less is simply unacceptable. Hillary Clinton definitely has a neurological disorder. It is imperative that we know what it is and what it means. We cannot afford another Woodrow Wilson. Thank you.